Boker Tov Chavrim, I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. We've been following all morning this morning since about 6 a.m. Eastern Time the rocket sirens that have been going off in the Golan. It's been about 8 or 9 of them that went off this morning in Katsrin, up near the Golan Syrian border. All the different areas in that region there. And of course, Amichai Stein has been one individual on Twitter that has been on top of this. He's an Israeli journalist that we follow pretty closely. But now the IDF is also reporting that 2 Patriot missiles were launched at the Syrian Sukhoi fighter jet that infiltrated about 1 mile into Israeli airspace. The IDF monitored the fighter jet, which was then intercepted by the Patriot missiles. It seems like to me that more than likely what we're dealing with is the fact that this fighter jet trying to take out the terrorists, the Al-Qaeda, Al-Nusra, and ISIS militants there that are on the Israeli border there, probably accidentally did cross into the Israeli airspace. And unlike, well, I shouldn't say unlike anything, Israel is just not playing around. As the Israeli aircraft goes into the Syrian airspace, Syria is also shooting at their aircraft. And now Israel has taken out a Sukhoi over its own area under the same situation there. So we'll monitor this. I'm actually going to be traveling here this morning, fixing to head out in just a little bit there. But we will be watching this very closely to see exactly what may or may not happen next. It's a very troubling situation. It could get worse, and that's another issue that we got to be watchful there, because it wouldn't take anything to explode this region into a global war very easily. As I reported last night, the Iranian forces, Israel is not wanting to accept the deal brokered by Russia to push the Iranian forces 100 kilometers away from their border, and instead trying to weaken Syria's ability to defeat the terrorists inside of their country. And so this is really becoming a major issue right now, because Syria is gaining so much momentum, and as they try to take back their area around the Golan area there on the border with Quneitra and the Golan, Israel is trying to hamper those efforts by again shooting down a Sukhoi. Of course, he did enter into Israeli airspace, just as the Syrians have shot at the Israeli planes and have taken down an Israeli plane not too long ago. It looks like Israel figured this was a time for payback. So let's hope it doesn't escalate beyond that, but we'll have to see. Haaretz is saying Israel shot down a Syrian fighter jet that penetrated Israeli airspace on Tuesday. The Israeli army said that the Russian-made Sukhoi was under surveillance when it entered some 2 kilometers into Israeli airspace. Israel's air defenses fired 2 Patriot missiles at the plane. The military said the jet was under surveillance before entering Israel. Syria state media said that he downed Syrian jet was hit while conducting raids in southern Syria while in the Syrian airspace. So there is conflicting reports on that. I had a feeling that this was going to be the case. So it was not immediately where the plane, should have put on there the word known. I guess, see, I'm not the only guy that makes typographical errors. Known where the plane crashed, and no details were given as the fate of the pilots. Eiler sirens went off in Israeli communities across the Golan Heights near Syrian border. Residents in northern Israel reported seeing interceptor missiles being fired from the Safed area. That explosions were heard. So we'll update you as soon as we find out more about this, waiting to see exactly what actually takes place. And again, Syria is saying that they were in Syrian airspace. Israel said they were in Israeli airspace. Don't really know who's telling the truth on that one. We'll have to wait and see. I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Boker Tov.